Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma Toys, and yes, this is the Mighty Duck collection. So anybody who is new to this series, this is what, 2 and a bit years now. Essentially, this is my challenge from start to finish, is to pick up every single figure, accessory and vehicle from the Mighty Ducks collection from the 1996 cartoon. So it's been a little quiet, that's because obviously what I need is getting thinner and thinner. Obviously, if you see this video, there is a on the channel, there is a whole log of all the, I think, previous 16 or 17 episodes and some recaps of stuff. So yes, so that is the challenge. What I do is I basically record the actual money I've spent and the time I spent. So, and as I say, so this is kind of the big, so last weekend was the NEC, was a great time. I have another video coming at the end of the week for that video while I'm still prepping it and stuff like that. It was a brilliant time. Thank you all for the people who recognized me and said hello. I will do a special kind of mention to all those people within that video. But this is kind of, kind of highlighting for this one. So as I've done is, what I do is I take all the time it takes me. This is looking online to try and find reference pictures, find out what the figures are, what they come with. Then because I went to the NEC, so the time from when I left my house from the time I got home, I divide that by the amount of toys I picked up, and then obviously each bit of time is then added on to the thing. So say I was there for 4 hours and I picked up 40 things, then obviously you divide that much, even though it's simple. So I have a massive haul, and I have a big thank you. But first off, I have something that has been sitting on my side since the end of last year. So I managed to find a skate. So this was $4.99, and this is a skate for Wild Wing that I think almost completes that figure. So first we'll start off with, this is the original value that I had, and obviously first we're going to then add $4.99 for that. So great, you'll see me at the end of the video kind of do it and touch all the figures on stuff like this. So what do I have? So the first off is a massive thank you to the Toy Crusader. Does he have his little icon here and in the bags? No, he doesn't. So this is Gary. So I've met him at a few previous NECs. He's a lovely guy. We got talking because I get there quite early and stuff like that, and he's a really nice guy. Had some really good stuff. I missed out on some of the stuff on previous ones because I wasn't paying attention, but he always had some really nice stuff. Stuff like Killer Tomatoes that you don't really come across in that. So we were talking and stuff like this, and he only sells at conventions. That is his philosophy. So if you come to the convention, so there was plans, he got a massive Mighty Duck load in the end of last year, and then was going to Sandown. I was potentially going to go to Sandown or the NEC around Christmas. It was the NEC actually after Christmas. Unfortunately, something happened. There was an incident, and I had to stay home for family reasons, stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the personal one. So because of that, I was unable, like a day or two before the NEC, because I found obviously that was going to be the case. I messaged him and said, I've seen your figures, they're great, really hope you have a good time. Unfortunately, I'm not able to go. And then he reached out to me privately and said, look, I normally don't do this. I've met you. You seem like a nice guy. I'm happy to sort you out someone. And he threw in a freebie, which was really nice for him. So this was £90 for 4 figures. He had them for 100. He said, I'll do you £90 for 4 figures, and I'll also throw in what will go on the other channel is my very first VHS. So yeah, first of all, we have a VHS. So I don't watch VHS. I don't have a VHS player. This will just be as a background for it because I thought it was quite cool. He obviously got it with all the figures and he didn't know what to do with it. So he said, do you want to take it? And I was like, well, yeah, great. I'm not going to be able to use it. It will just be a nice display stand in the back. So there is that. So then we got 4, as I say, I cannot thank Gary so much. Not only is he a great seller and a great person, I said, but it's just nice. It just encompasses what toy collecting is all about. So first off, we have the final figure from the street hockey team. I think it's the street hockey team. So I've not checked these out. Supposedly these all come with the right accessories and all that stuff, so I trust them. So it comes with one magnet puck, which sounds, I think that's about right. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so he comes with his stick, but his stick says Wild Wing on it. Whereas, okay, which would make sense. So whenever you get them, they have their names in it, and obviously that's who he looks like. So he does look like Wild Wing, but obviously it's the chameleon. So if I think it's like the flip plaque, let's, how do I, is it his arm or his legs? Does he twist? No. Okay, so he okay. So I'm not quite sure how the mechanism works, but obviously that is the chameleon, and obviously then if you rotate his head, he becomes Wild Wing, which is why he has Wild Wing on his stick. That Wild Wing is different to what the normal Wild Wing has. Obviously you can place it in. So he looks like Wild Wing, and then obviously change. He is, so they did most, so him, Siege, and then Draganis are all the bad guys. And there we go, it's back. People keep ringing the door. So yeah, so there is Chameleon as obviously a Wild Wing, and obviously the change in head thing still works quite good. I might leave him like that because I quite like the Chameleon face. But that is him in a nutshell. So that line is then fully complete as far as I'm aware. The two of the figures I have are sun faded, so it is likely that I will upgrade them. So as I say, it was $22.50 each figure, which say some of these are really hard. The crowning kind of jewel is Draganis for me. So I've not seen him complete and loose. I've seen him mostly complete. Sorry of all the noise. Mostly complete. Several of his figures, but I mean, he was very expensive. He was 2 to 3 times the amount of money that I paid. So here we have the bad guy. His tail obviously moves like that, so he has a little, okay, he has a little winder on his back, so I'm not quite sure what that, if it sparks or does it move with his arms? No, I mean, he's quite a cool figure, so he's not something. No, okay, so I think maybe his mechanism maybe broke. So, but at the end of the day, if the figure's complete, that's the least of my worries. So then you have these little like insects that come with him. I think that is one of his couples on his hand. Yep, so he can shoot stuff like that. I assume that's like a belt buckle. And then like a bug thingy here. So I assume these all link up, or they all kind of merge in together. I can see his coat is coming apart a little bit. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's still a great figure. I say I have to fix his coat a little bit because it does pop apart. But as I say, lucky to have this, lucky to have it in the condition and the price. So I said I am not complaining one bit. Yeah, there is like a bit of tape or something on his tongue. So I believe that cord, probably he has a tongue that shoots fire or something out. So yeah, a small minute thing for me. I'm still glad to have the figure and have the figure with all the accessories. And even for the price I paid, let's just get him in. So that's 2. Then we go to Wild Wing from season 1. So I still have one more Wild Wing to get. Again, I say overall, I mean, they are quite good condition. They have a few little scrapes and stuff like that, but I don't, as I say, I'm not a necessarily perfectionist. So that sits there. He does have a little mark on his beak there. He comes with obviously both his skates and 3 missiles for his puck launcher, which hopefully works. Yep. So that is Wild Wing, as far as I'm aware, complete as well for this this line. So this leaves Mallory, which is a funny story. So when I was going around, I did come across a Mallory boxed season 1. First time I've seen it. It was a first edition, so the guy, apologies, I don't remember, I think he is a magician from the US, and he's commented on some of my posts before, so thank you again for watching stuff. And he has said the one with the eyes, so the cardboard at the back, and when they have the eyes with the red translucent, that means they're just first edition with card, and this is what this character had. So I knew it was first edition. They wanted 70 quid. If it was 50, I would have definitely bitten their hand off it, but I'm not. As the rate I've been paying for stuff, I think that's too much at this time for me to be paying. And then obviously the final figure for season 1 is Duck L'Orange. Has his little sword clips onto there. And there is a retractable rod thing, so I don't know if that shoots stuff off. He comes with 2 skates. One of those needs a little cleaning, and he has a little grapple hook. So I think this is complete. Oh yeah, it sits on his, so you can tell by the molded hand. Sits there. Oh, and he has like a. Does it sit in there like that? Yeah, I think it sits kind of like that. So he has a launcher. And then obviously this sword can go on his hand, hopefully, if it'll fit in. And then, I mean, the rod comes out. I don't know, maybe it fits that way. Okay, so maybe there is a bit missing on Duck L'Orange. I don't know. I will have to look into the pictures and stuff like this. But regardless of that, I say in a little bit of cleaning on one of his skates. Again, he is complete, comes with the boots and stuff like this. So I say I am now 2 figures from finishing this line. It is Wave 1 Mallory and Wild Wing from the Street team. There is, I think, another Wild Wing has a headset that he needs. I have Nosedive, who's missing his weapon and his head from that wave as well. And then, yeah, say 2 of them have paint ones, and then that is the figures done, except for the one that special nose dive that comes with the bike that I just have not seen for love of money. And then it is the 3 vehicles, and then we are done, and I will do a final this is everything. So a great, again, thank you very much, Gary. I cannot thank you enough for all these figures at such a great price. Totally blown away. So here we go into the collection. So the Mighty Ducks book will go there. We gave Wild Wing his second set of skates. So then we bring Dragonis. Let's maybe use his tail to stand. And his accessories there, like that bit of carpet. So obviously Mallory will go here. Once I get Wild Wing, then we'll sit here to move those parts up. So as I say, apart from Mallory, that's all the original wave done. The second wave are all complete. Obviously then we get the skate team. So Chameleon sits at the front with his magnet puck. Now the magnet puck doesn't belong to him. I think it belongs to one of the others. But I have a load of little pucks all around. So I didn't, and obviously Duke L'Orange, he is complete. It was my mistake, so that sword is correct. And how, so yep, so I set for Mallory there, Wild Wing here, obviously Nosedive needs a few weapons, and then obviously we've got the bikes, so we've just got the other vehicles, and then essentially obviously, and then the two knockoffs with a few spare parts there. So this is the complete, almost complete Mighty Duck line. Obviously I've never seen anyone else with a complete line more than me, so, and then obviously he's a spare one. But please do let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below, if what you think about the collection so far. Thank you all for watching. Obviously there'll be a new time and a new total here, which is a lot of money, but so glad to have these all in the collection. Do you collect the Mighty Ducks? Are you enjoying the series? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Otherwise, I shall see you in the next one.